be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
By focusing on your improvement, by focusing on your progress, and eliminating any fixed mindset that you may have and acts of perfectionism, then you encourage your own mastery.
On some level, we do what we want to do 24 hours a day. Now, sometimes it may not seem like that, but if I'm choosing to work instead of sleep, what I'm actually saying is keeping my job is more important than sleeping.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting beat. What can I do to get over this hump? So mentally, that's when I kind of put that forefront, like, hey, it's either all or nothing.
I like to put failure in quotations because I don't believe that failure is true failure if you're looking at it with the right mindset.
The truth is, the journey to greatness is hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes focus, and every day you have to decide what you value, what you want to pursue, and what you want to achieve. And if you dig deep enough, if you push hard enough, we all have what it takes to be great. Welcome to the Edge of Greatness. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. It is Thursday, February 23rd. Happy birthday, Jason, if you're listening this morning. I don't normally do birthday call-outs on here, but Jason's one of my good friends who's been with me a long time, fellow author, and just a general good dude. So if you are out there looking for somebody to follow along with somebody's really cool story, I definitely recommend checking Jason out. He has a new book coming out here next year, and big things are coming. But anyway, speaking of books, I actually recently finished my first draft of my latest book. And I came to this realization while I was doing that, because somebody asked me what the book was about, that I was writing the book for me. And it was a really interesting moment for me because when I look back at the other books that I've written, they were all written for me during a time of my life where I needed that story. And so what I've gathered from this, what I've gained from this is that writing is a powerful way to help you work through the situation you're currently in. Now, not everybody has to go out and write a book to make it through those moments, but you can journal. You can spend time with your thoughts and with yourself and tell yourself the story that you need to hear. The important piece is taking time to look at the story that you're dealing with and create a solution and then use that solution. So right now, the most recent book I wrote it's a journey into the unknown. It's a journey into a place that's never been explored before, and this young man is trying to figure out how to navigate a world he doesn't know. And for anyone out there who's ever tried to start a project or become an entrepreneur or build a business or whatever those things are doing, or write a book or go speak for the first time, it's an unknown world. It's a scary world. It's a world that you don't really fully appreciate until you're in it. And that's what this story is. I'm about to make some big changes in my life. I'm about to do some different things. I'm not going to quite announce what all those things are just yet, but part of me is scared. So I wrote a book of what it's like to overcome these challenges, to face these fears, and to continue to do what you're doing. And I think that that's an important piece of writing, of spending time with yourself, of using your life's experiences to create new solutions. So whether or not you're a writer, whether or not you like to share your stories with the world doesn't matter. But I do believe that it's important to spend time with where you're at on your journey, either through journaling or just do a video for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else. Just do it for yourself and tell a story. The stories that we hear, the stories that we tell, the stories that are out there in the world are the things that drive who we are and what we become. So make sure you're telling yourself the right story. Make sure you're working through the problems that you need to solve, and make yourself the champion of your story in the end. This is how you create a positive outcome for yourself in the future. The really difficult piece, and why I didn't realize I was writing it for myself until somebody asked, is there's always going to be detours, hiccups, obstacles, adversity, things that you're going to face in any journey that you're on. By me writing about this particular story, I've started to create solutions for what I think is going to potentially happen. And all of the, again, remember the conversation the other day, what's the worst that could happen? I've started to work through those scenarios. I've started to create, if this happens, then do this. If that happens, then do that. Which I don't know if I would have started doing that yet had I not been working on this project. Ultimately, I think that that's the value of sharing stories. I think that's the value of writing your own story, or at least telling your story. Again, I get it. Not everybody's a writer. It takes a lot of time and patience to sit down and write a story out. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it or look like it, and I fully appreciate the fact that I blow through books a lot faster than I would say is typical. I don't know how or why that is, but this is my third book in a little over a year. But again, I think it's more just because I like telling stories. I've enjoyed what I've been writing about. And if you start to tell stories, if you start to talk to yourself, if you start to write things down, journal it, create ideas, give yourself space to be creative, open up that mind and let it wander. You'd be surprised the stories that you can tell yourself. You'd be surprised of the ideas you can come up with and generate. Give yourself time to sit with yourself, sit with your thoughts, create a story, because right now I know you're all going through something. Everybody is. What's the story you need to hear today to help you get through it? If you're in the process of starting something right now, whether it's a business, a new venture on the side, you're trying to get ready for a big marathon race or a Spartan race or whatever, if you're at the beginning of a journey and you need a little help, let me know what you're working on. I want to be a part of it. I want to help you out. I want to create a solution that can give you the steps that I think will lead to your success. It's something that I'm extremely passionate about as far as helping others get to the next phase of their journey. And if you're somebody who's hungry enough to go after it, I want to be a part of helping you. So go ahead and reach out to me. You can email me at charles@theedgeofgreatnessproject.com. And let's make some progress on this new journey of yours and help you get to where you want to be. So have a wonderful day. Keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face, but remember, whenever we fall, always get up. Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. If you haven't yet, please take a minute now to subscribe and review our show. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But remember, no matter what happens, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness podcast.